Welcome to The Lavender Lifestyle, the podcast on personal growth and lifestyle design. My name's Eileen, and I'm here to guide you to become a master artist of life. Every Sunday, you'll get new insight and inspiration on how to create your dream life. After the episode, the conversation continues in our Lavender Lifestyle Facebook group, so I can't wait to see you there. Life is an art. Make it your masterpiece. Hey guys, I'm super excited to bring on Jasmine Love as our guest today. But before I get started, I want to first let you know about the new Create Your Dream Life course that I recently launched. I'm so excited. So it is a 6-week program to untapping your true potential and making your dream life a reality. So it's a step-by-step program with videos, worksheets, and bonuses to work on yourself and your life. So if you want to enroll or check it out, you can go to lavender.com/dreamlife. Again, lavender.com/dreamlife. So you'll find more info there. Our guest today is my friend Jasmine Love. Jasmine Love is a passionate lifestyle YouTuber, travel vlogger, author, and content creator, empowering self-love, conscious living, and well-being through her creative spirit and focus on making a positive impact in the world. She's also the host of the Blissful Soul podcast and openly shares her life on her YouTube channel, aiming to bring light to self-growth and modern spirituality. As a multilingualist, Jasmine also shares her love for learning languages and all of her travel adventures across the world to inspire wholehearted living. So here is Jasmine Love. Hi, Jasmine. Welcome to The Lavender Lifestyle. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me, Eileen. It's an honor. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and I know that you're traveling solo around the world right now. Where are you?
Currently, I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And yes, it's been 7 weeks now since I've started this trip.
7 weeks already?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we met we met in March when I was in Australia.
Yes.
Wow, I can't believe it's already been so long. So where did you go before Malaysia?
I was in Bali for a month.
Wow. And where do you think you're going next?
So next will be Thailand and exploring that country I've never been before. So yeah, also very exciting.
Yeah. And you're traveling indefinitely, or do you have a date that you'll return home?
Yeah, indefinitely. I feel like home is where my family is in Melbourne, but it's also just like Earth. The world is my home. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I don't have any plans at the moment of when exactly I'll go back.
Oh my God, that's so insane. Okay, so I guess we'll talk about this a lot more later, but first I want you to share with our listeners what inspired you to start your YouTube channel.
Oh, it was really just the wanting to inspire others. That was always the core of every video. The first video I made, just to inspire others to learn languages. That's how it really started, to bring positivity and just to show what's possible, what you can do.
And I know that you kind of blew up with your language learning videos, because that's how I found your channel. Can you talk about your background in that?
Yeah, so I grew up, English is my first language, but I also grew up speaking Chinese Mandarin since my mum is from China and everyone in my family speaks Chinese, including my dad, even though he's Polish. And I also lived in China for 2 years when I was a little child, so I obviously picked up Chinese like that, and I just always really enjoyed the Chinese language. I found it really fascinating. And then in primary school, I was exposed to Italian. That's the language we learned there. And then in high school, in year 7, we had the option of learning 2 languages at once. I don't know why my school did that, but they did.
Wow.
And so I chose Indonesian and French. They also had Italian, but because I already learned it before, I thought, I'll try something new. I'll try French. And so I learned that, and I found Indonesian to be more exciting just for me personally. So the next year we had to choose to just continue with one language. So I chose Indonesian, did that until year 12. And yeah, I not to brag or anything, of course, but I really enjoyed Indonesian, and for example, I did lots of oral competitions and I won a first prize and also got a scholarship. So I just always have loved learning languages and spent a lot of time doing that as well, put a lot of effort into my language learning.
Yeah, and you didn't mention that you learned Korean and
Oh,
Japanese
yes.
as well, right? And Polish.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's funny because even though my dad is Polish, I've never learned Polish like in school or anything, and I don't speak it fluently. I just know a few words here and there. But Korean, yes, because in year 9, I started to get into Korean dramas, and I started to watch that. I never took any formal classes, but it was really, really just through watching an immense amount of dramas, and with the intention, I always knew that by watching these dramas, I intended to pick up and learn Korean. And so after a couple of years, I can now understand a lot of Korean, and I'd say I'm intermediate. But yeah, it's just amazing that you can just learn from watching dramas.
I just think it's so incredible how many languages you have a grasp of, and it's really cute that right now you're doing a travel around the world, and I really think you are like a child of the world, right?
Oh, thank you.
Well, when you went to Bali, I'm sure your Indonesian helped you get around, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the locals love that as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, listeners, if you want to learn how to speak a language and learn fast, follow Jasmine's YouTube. I even bought your ebook on like learning languages.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah. But it is like a separate commitment that I pick up here and then, but I'm not like as committed as you are.
Oh, I'm sure you've got this.
So let's talk about, I mean, you're also really passionate and knowledgeable about self-love and spirituality. So I'm curious, how did you gain all this knowledge? Was it just how you were raised? When did you start reading these books? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I've always really been passionate about self-love and helping others to see the potential in themselves. It's just something that's been a part of me. I loved encouraging my friends in that way as well. And of course, I have influence from my parents. My mum is also passionate about loving yourself. And yeah, so is my dad in a way, just like in a non-direct way. And so it's also, I guess, based on my own experiences as well. I still went through really low self-esteem through my teenagehood, and that led to, I've been quite open about it, but my eating disorders in my earlier teenage years and like exercise addiction, just really low self-esteem. And it's been a journey to healing that, and I've come a really long way. But along the journey, I discovered some books, and it just somehow I came across it. I consider it perfect divine timing, and the first one that really changed my life and got me into all of these other books and delving more into self-love and spirituality was Mastering a Mean Girl.
Oh, yeah. I think I had Melissa on the podcast.
Yes, it was Melissa Ambrosini. I met her as well, and that book really changed it all for me. And so after that, I discovered more books, more people that she was recommending, and I got into the spirituality world, I guess you would say, and I started to just learn to listen to my intuition again and keep learning. And in 2018, I actually read over 30 books all on self-growth.
Wow.
And like Dr. Wayne Dyer, got introduced to all these other thought leaders that really changed my life, and I've been sharing as well because I just want to help as many people as I can. I don't want anyone to go through what I did. So just coming from that point of view and experience, that's why I'm just so passionate about it.
I mean, what advice would you have for our listeners who are still struggling with self-love and body image issues?
My biggest advice at the moment is you can seek help, of course, and take the time to work on yourself, because self-love isn't selfish, and the more love you give to yourself, the more love finds you in your life too. And the relationship you have with yourself is reflected into all areas of your life, with the relationship you have with others, with money, with time, with food, with everything. So take time to work on yourself and seek help, and surround yourself with positive people, seek mentors. And just know that it's okay to go deep within yourself, to take time out to work on yourself.
Yeah. And can you share any of like your personal limiting beliefs that you used to have and how you overcame them?
I would say my greatest limiting belief used to be that I am not worthy, I'm not good enough, which I think many people used to or still struggle with. It's a big one, especially in like a society now where we have social media, and
totally.
it's like constant comparison. And how I overcame that, I think no matter what limiting belief it is, the key to changing that, which happens of course over time, and I'm still working on that, but I've come a long way, and it's really just repetition, because repetition is key to changing any belief you have. That's how they're instilled within us when we're a child, through repetition from those around us. So repetition is key to changing your inner paradigm. And so every day I was just saying positive affirmations. I am worthy, I am worthy, I am good enough. And realizing like I can't keep saying this to myself. I can't keep victimizing myself. Like no one can save me, no one can change that. I have to change that belief myself.
So on positive affirmations, it's something that I think people have heard, like it's so important to do positive affirmations, but most people feel awkward doing it. I mean, do you do it in front of the mirror? What does your, I guess, routine or ritual look like?
Yeah, I just say it like when I'm maybe washing the dishes or something. I'll just say it out loud. And I think mirror work is so powerful as well, saying it in the mirror, looking at yourself and releasing all judgment, just being present in the moment and just saying that. And you know, you can, if you do it privately yourself, you don't have to worry about what others think. And it's, I don't find it awkward, because like it's just saying words, and when you truly mean it, you know you're doing it for yourself, and it will be ingrained into you over time when you say it with intention and you truly mean it and you feel it.
Yeah, I can totally vouch for that. Just for our listeners out there, the more you say these positive thoughts, the more you actually believe it, and then the more it really affects your life. My favorite time to keep repeating these affirmations to myself is actually like before I go to sleep. I think like before you go to sleep or right after you wake up is like the best time to reprogram your subconscious mind. I don't know if you've heard about that, but also during meditation, it's really helpful too.
Yeah, definitely. And that's when our state is in the theta state, and so that's when we're most receptive to everything exposed to us. So yeah, that's why that's a great point to like say it after you wake up immediately and before you sleep.
Yeah, totally. So another thing that really impressed me about you, Jasmine, is when we met, you told me that you got really inspired and you wrote your Law of Attraction book in, how long was it? Like 2 days?
Yeah, it was 2 days.
Oh my gosh. And I was like astonished, because to me, I felt your energy and it just felt like you were in such creative flow. And so many artists struggle with doing the work, finishing what they set out to do. How did you overcome your blocks? How do you just create so easily?
Yeah, so it was really just taking inspired action. And I guess, the biggest thing that is a quote unquote block for people is the excuses, the fear of, is this going to be good enough, and aiming for perfection. And those are things I'm still very much working on within myself. But I had just felt this calling, my inner knowing knew that I had to get it out, and I can't be focusing on perfection if I want to get this book out there, or no matter what I want to create. As all content creators, if you focus on perfection, that's it's gonna stop you from creating what you really want to. It was just listening to my intuition. That's really the greatest thing. And going with the flow and honoring this time as well, because I was just felt so much in alignment and just this flow, and I just wanted to keep typing. I honored that and I prioritized that as well.
Yeah. I love that. And I want to point that out because that's a lesson that I had to learn in these like past few years of being a creator, that when you are inspired and you have like momentum with the flow and everything, take action. Don't let it go to waste, because sometimes I'll have like an idea and I'm really inspired to do it, but I'm like, okay, I'll put it on my to-do list and I'll get to it later. I'll do it next week. And then next week rolls around and you don't have that same energy to do that. So honestly, if you're inspired, the best time is just to take action right then and right there.
Yeah, definitely. The perfect time is always now. Yeah.
Yeah,
And our
for sure.
ideas are so, I consider ideas sacred as well. Whenever you have this incredible, amazing, exciting idea that gets you really inspired. I guess inspiration is being in spirit as well. And it's when it's because you have all the resources right now in front of you to manifest that thought into reality, that the universe gave you that idea. And if you don't take action now, the idea may leave you. And you can even make a note of it if you can't do it right now. As long as you make a note, put it somewhere, because otherwise the idea will leave you. The universe will give the idea to someone else. And we can often see that when like maybe you thought of an idea, you didn't take action, and then later you see someone else doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our brains are designed to process information, not necessarily store it. That's why we have memory. Yeah, so when you take action now, you're honoring yourself, you're honoring the idea from the universe.
Yeah. And when you feel inspired, the universe is on your side to help you make that happen.
For sure, yes.
Let's talk a little bit about how you feel towards like the universe, law of attraction, and manifesting, since you did write that book about law of attraction.
Yes.
So I guess, how has it changed your life, and how do you use law of attraction in your everyday life?
Yeah, so I guess every single person from the moment they're born, they're using the law of attraction. It's just whether are you conscious of it or not. And I became conscious of the law of attraction, I would say, last year. I had a kind of spiritual awakening near my 20th birthday, and that's when I started to learn more about it and just reading lots and lots of books and just reading so much. And it profoundly changed my life because I knew about it now. Maybe many of your listeners have, or maybe have not heard of The Secret, the book or the movie, and it's kind of like that. It's really life-changing because you know everything you say, everything you believe, that's what you create in your life. And there are so many more elements to the law of attraction, which includes like taking action and everything else, but just knowing that what you focus on grows stronger. It really changes everything, because then why would you consciously choose to focus on a negative thought that doesn't serve the reality you want to create?
Yeah.
So, and I also realized it's something that throughout my whole life, I've kind of been conscious of it in that I've always been positive because I know that I want to receive positive outcomes like everyone does. And I've always visualized since a young child. I don't know a kind of why or what, but ever since I was really young, from what I can remember, if I had a goal, I always set goals for myself. I always visualize myself achieving that goal. And it happened like most of the time. And again, not to brag, but it just goes to show the power of visualization and believing that you can achieve that goal. And so, yeah, this book is much of it is, of course, based on my own experience with the law of attraction and how I've manifested a lot of my goals as well.
Right. And in your daily life, how are you using law of attraction? Is it like every thought you're trying to be conscious of, or do you have a ritual related to that?
So I wake up in gratitude and just practicing gratitude every day, like what you appreciate appreciates. So living in gratitude and saying positive affirmations, visiting my goals every day, and yeah, being as present as I can in the moment. Doing meditation too, moving my body, which helps with movement of energy, and yeah, just being conscious of my thoughts. And I still experience negative feelings. Like, I want to make this clear, it's not about forcing yourself to be positive, 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 and just suppressing all these negative feelings or your emotions. Like, we're all humans. To have a positive thought, you will have negative ones. Like, that's the law of polarity. And so it's choosing instead, when you have a negative feeling, to let that pass. This too shall pass. And seeing it, using it as a teacher. When you're aware and you're conscious in this present moment, you can ask yourself, what is this present moment, this feeling teaching me? What do I need to learn? What do I need to change? And you let that pass, and you just be gentle on yourself. And I will usually start saying positive affirmations again, just to raise my vibration, and yeah, do anything that will raise my vibration. I know you have a video on that, so your listeners can check that one out. So yeah, and it's just honoring all my feelings, but not letting the negative take over or give that power or keep feeding it. I'll let it pass.
What will you do for your dreams in 2019? Introducing the Artist of Life Workbook and Daily Planner by Lavender, tools to help you create your best year in 2019. If you love journaling, self-discovery, creativity, and productivity, these are perfect for you. Filled with 125 pages of questions and exercises, the 2019 Artist of Life Workbook walks you through reflecting on your past year, setting goals and intentions for the new year, discovering yourself, staying committed to your goals, and tracking your progress monthly. The Daily Planner by Lavender is a tool to help you design a productive, effective, and meaningful day. The Artist of Life Workbook helps you plan a macro view of your life, while the Daily Planner helps you plan the micro. Together, these tools will help you build your dream life one page at a time. They're seriously life-changing, and they make great gifts too. Go to shop.lavender.com to check them out. Sending you so much light. It's always good advice to set goals with a defined deadline or something. So what do you do when you set a goal and you want to achieve something by this certain date, and then you don't do it? Because I'm sure that happens. So how do you handle it? Because some people are really hard on themselves, or what do you do?
Yeah, definitely. So recently I've been more conscious to not actually put an end date to it. And it's still great if you do. And that's because I truly believe in the perfect divine timing. When you just keep taking inspired action, you believe in yourself, everything will happen when it needs to. And when you put this end date, it kind of limits you, and you put more pressure on yourself. And a desire is a desire that you have, and it will come. I truly believe it will. But this end date that you have, you made it up. Who says it has to? And it's great to put that as well, so you are more motivated. But if you don't reach it, that's why I don't always put that end goal, and I just let it be. It will happen. As long as you're certain, you're absolutely certain without a shadow of a doubt, then it will come. So embrace however long it takes, and everything will take its own time.
I actually really like that.
Yeah,
no, I love that, because you hear so many times people give the advice set super specific goals, know exactly when you want to achieve by this date, and it is kind of limiting. And if you truly can trust the universe and believe in perfect divine timing, then it will happen when it's meant to happen. The important thing to remember is you always have to take that inspired action. You can't just sit there and wait for it.
Yes, yeah.
So let's talk about your current solo trip. It's really amazing, and it's brave of you to do this. So I want to ask, why were you called to travel solo?
Well, thank you. So it was last year, towards the end, I just really felt this energy, this calling. I don't really know how to describe it, but I even told my dad about it, that I felt 2019 would be this year of more exploration and stepping out of my comfort zone, doing more spontaneous things, just doing something big, really big, bigger than myself, relative to me, of course. And then the idea just suddenly downloaded on the 1st of January this year to do this trip, because it's something it just felt so aligned, really, really exciting. and I want to travel the world more while I'm young. I guess you'd say I'm still young, and
Yes.
just to explore more, broaden my horizons, and follow my dreams, my passions, because I want to travel the world, just keep traveling. So now was the perfect time. I had all the resources available. I'm able to. I'm incredibly grateful, and I just took inspired action. Really, it was a calling.
Yeah.
Being intuitive. Yeah.
I think what's important is to listen to that calling, because I'm sure every listener has that intuition that calls them to do something and they're like, huh, sounds like a great idea, but it also sounds really scary. I don't know how I'm going to do it, so maybe I won't do it. You know, like people hold themselves back sometimes. So I just hope that your story inspires someone to just follow that calling.
Yeah, thank you. And I really hope that this inspires people as well to not let fear or excuses get in the way. We all have fears. I still have fears, but I just don't give it power. Like life is a gift. Life is precious every single day, every moment, every breath, every heartbeat. It's a miracle. Like, how many people would love to live another day? And when you just really appreciate this life, that at least for me really helps me to just let go of all those fears and just take action, just lean into it. Like, because if this just somehow doesn't work out, I believe my success is inevitable. I think everyone should have that belief. But if something happens, like, that's my thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think. Yeah, letting go of fear of judgment as well. That's a big thing. Just move on. Like, everything happens for my ultimate highest good. So whatever happens, it's meant to happen for my soul, for a lesson to learn. Just see the lesson in everything. And yeah, I mean, life is simple. Just keep life simple. Doesn't always mean it's easy, but it's simple.
Yeah. I love that outlook and I totally agree with you. So as you're traveling, you're also vlogging and of course you're still like working on your content career. So what is your schedule like? How much time do you spend to like making videos versus just traveling and exploring?
Yeah, so I guess usually when I am traveling out and about, going to new places, I'll vlog that. I just find it really fun, and that's why I'll also generally schedule my time in that I'll go out exploring for one day, then the next day I'll leave that to rest a bit, to rejuvenate, and also edit my videos back in wherever I'm staying at. And that's also why I guess I'm staying for a longer period of time in each place I visit as well, just to allow myself ample time to not only travel and really, really enjoy, but also to work and to edit my videos. And so I'm not rushed, because I realized upon looking back at my previous travels that I tended to rush, and that got me a little bit stressed just because I couldn't fit in the editing and all the traveling.
Oh yeah. It's really tiring to travel and after you're out done exploring, like you're tired, you know? So it's hard to like edit in the evening. So it's interesting how you have like one day of travel, one day of working, and then one.
Yeah. So just doing whatever
really cool.
works for me in my schedule, being organized.
Awesome. So now I'm going to move on to some Facebook questions that we got from our listeners in our Facebook group. Katarzina asked, how do you stay true to yourself and your values when you have no choice but to be around people who have a bad influence on you? Maybe it's your family who's toxic. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that situation.
Yeah, so you can always stay true to yourself. That is a power you always have, and no one else has the power to negatively affect you if you don't choose to let it affect you. And yes, of course, there is the energy around you, the influence, but you don't have to let it get to you when you are conscious that they are acting from their level of consciousness. And you can, as best as you can, choose to distance yourself and create a space, because you are allowed to choose who you surround yourself with. But if they are, for example, your family, just know that no one can make you ultimately feel a certain way. That's something that you can control within yourself, and you just keep being you. So don't fear judgment. That you need to let go of the fear of not belonging. I guess that's the part of the human survival. We want to belong, and it's okay, because someone else is always accepting of you and loving you. and realize the abundance of people in the world, and you can make new friends. Surround yourself, be conscious to surround yourself with people who nourish you, who feed your soul and make you feel good as best as you can.
Love it. The next Facebook question is from Khalida. She asks, what were some limiting beliefs you had to overcome traveling alone as a woman? And what are some recommendations for first-time travel destinations for a single lady?
I really don't have that many when it comes to travel. I just love it so much. But if I had to think of one, it would probably have been that I wouldn't be safe. I guess that's the big one as well, isn't it? Like safety.
Yeah, that is.
And I overcome that by reminding myself that, well, I'm always guided, always protected by God, but also, of course, being responsible for myself, my actions, and to always do what feels right, listening to my intuition, and doing all the practical things like having contact numbers and getting a SIM card, staying in accommodation that feels safe, and dressing similar to the local customs, and just always doing what feels safe. Got to listen to your intuition.
Yeah. And what are your recommendations for women who want to travel alone for the first time?
Oh, there are a lot of wonderful places in the world.
You can make a whole series on that.
Yeah. Most places, I would say, because of the news, the media, they can portray really negative things about countries. You have to go to a place to find out yourself. Currently, based on my own experiences and on the 9 countries I've traveled to, I would say Australia is very, very safe. China, Japan, Korea, Poland, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia.
They're all safe.
Yeah, all the places I've been to in my own experiences are very safe as a solo traveler.
That's good to hear. And I don't know if you want to mention, you did get into like a motor accident, right? Are you okay?
Yes, I did in Bali. I fell off, I actually crashed myself. It was my own responsibility. Crashed into a wall, and I still have a little scar on I have a permanent scar, but that's okay because it's just part of the beautiful life story.
I love how you're so positive about everything. Like nothing gets to you.
Well, yeah, I guess because there's nothing I can do about it, and might as well just think positive about it because it is beautiful. It's interesting. It's a conversation starter, and I'm really grateful I came out of that alive because it is a motorbike. It was my first time riding on it actually, and I learned many lessons from it.
Yeah. But I think you mentioned that you had travel health insurance.
Yes, that's very important. So when you travel, always have insurance.
Yes, so that's a recommendation too.
Yes.
All right, so moving on to our rapid fire questions that I ask every guest at the end of the show. Are you ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay. Jasmine, what does your dream life look like?
My dream life is really just being happy, feeling fulfilled, and always serving, always giving. As long as I'm giving something to someone, I feel happy, and that's my dream life. And also continuously manifesting my desires, like where I want to live, and a work that I love, absolutely love, that serves people, helps people. That's my dream life. And being surrounded by loving people too.
Awesome. It seems like you're living it now.
I'm really grateful.
Yeah. Okay, so what is one book or resource that you recommend to everybody?
I would recommend The 4 Agreements by
Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yes, Don Miguel Ruiz.
I love that book.
Yes, absolutely life-changing.
Yeah.
It's so eye-opening. Oh, yeah, definitely highly recommend that.
That's like one of my top 3 favorite books.
Yes, it's incredible.
What is one habit that has changed your life?
Meditation. And I know many people may say this, but it is absolutely just, very life-changing. I started the regular meditation practice towards early last year. Yes, it just changed everything.
Yeah. How long do you meditate for?
I personally do it for 10 minutes at a time. That's what I like.
Okay. And do you do it mornings or evenings or both?
Generally mornings, but I can do both.
I see. All right. So what is the best life or career advice that you've ever gotten?
Oh, that I've ever received. Be yourself. and just do you. Follow your dreams, your passions, what you desire to achieve in life without comparing to anyone else. Just do you. Follow your essence.
Yes, so true. All right, last one. Finish the sentence. The most amazing part about life is
that every day is a gift, and every day anything can happen. Every day is a new chance to start again. Every moment is. So life is a gift. Life is precious.
amazing. Thank you so much, Jasmine. I love you. You're like so sweet, so positive. And how can our listeners find you online?
Oh, you can connect with me, send me a DM anytime. It's always open on Instagram, so at JazLipska. You can watch my videos over on my YouTube channel, Jasmine Lipska. And also, I do have a website where everything is there. I have some blog posts as well, and my podcast is there too, so jasminelipska.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much to Eileen. You're just an angel. And